Hello everyone and welcome to my channel HR Talks with Khala. Today we're going to talk about a very crucial topic, as critical as your morning coffee and as relevant as anything in today's world, which is how to survive a toxic workplace. So I believe all of us professionals at some point of time in our career have gone through an organization which was really toxic for us, or maybe the values were not aligned with our personal values. Some of us had the liberty to take a break or look for the next opportunity, and some of us were not so lucky and could not manage our expenses without every month's salary. And thus, for those people and for those people as well who are currently going through this toxic workplace, this is a video which will tell you some tips and tricks how to survive and how to keep your sanity intact while being in a toxic workplace. Let's dive in. Tip number 1. Always stay and behave professional in the office environment, specifically when the environment is getting or going through a toxic phase. So staying professional will help you not increase your stress, also make you focus on your work. Staying professional should be very evident from the way you talk, from the way you behave, and from the way you interact with your colleagues. How? Let me give you an example. If a colleague of yours try to drag you into a conversation where they are going to be discussing some gossips about your boss, your supervisor, or the CEO of the company, I would strongly recommend you steer clear of that kind of conversation, and without sounding rude, tell the group or tell the particular person who's starting the conversation that I'm currently busy in a project, let me catch up with you later. And do not become part of that negative circle which can give you additional stress. Just like reality TV show, we love to watch it. Do we like to be a part of it? I don't think so. Tip number 2. Set clear boundaries. Like you're building a fortress. Why you build a fortress? To secure the well-being of your personal and professional limits. What will happen when you set very clear boundaries for your time, for any sort of discussions which are not work related, is you reduce uninterrupted distractions. And how would that be? When you start respecting others' time, you build a behavior where others start respecting your time as well. Let me explain it to you with an example. So, I'm currently working on a very critical project and it has a current deadline as well. But the person sitting next to me has completed his day's task and started telling me about what his cat, Mr. Whiskers, has done the previous night. So, as excited and as much of an animal lover I am, this is not the time for me to shift my focus. So how do I respond? Well, without being rude, I should say, well, Jim, I would love to hear about what Mr. Whiskers has done and what are the latest antics that he has been up to in your house. But why don't I catch it up with you on lunch? So, what have you done? You're not being rude, but you've put these discussions, which is non-work related, on a time frame which is available and free for both you and Jim, your supposed imaginary colleague as well. So try to put these boundaries very clear so that others respect your time and do not let you distract from your focus as well. Tip number 3. It is very important tip. And why am I already smiling? Because me being part of the HR world exactly know how crucial this is for all the HR professionals. Now I'm coming back to the topic. Tip number 3 is document every unusual behavior. So, I'm not saying that you go crazy and start telling that Sally came to work late, Sally took coffee a little bit later than what she did a day before. No, what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to keep a written record of all the unusual and toxic behavior of anyone around you. And for example, I'll give you an example to make it easy for you to understand. There is a manager or a supervisor who always make flirtatious comments to females during a group meeting or a one-on-one meeting. But he does it in a way which can be funny, which can be a little bit frank. So some people do not like it and are uncomfortable, and some are okay with it. So if you think that is part of a toxic behavior that the manager is exhibiting, make sure to keep notes, the dates, the comments, the witnesses in the room, how it happened, when it happened. And why is it so critical? Even if you don't want to report the incident immediately, if in future you or any female or any person that is going through a toxic communication by a senior or a peer as well wants to report anything, these written points will help you. Because what happens is our human brain sometimes is unable to remember little details or the exact words that were used at a particular time. But this written communication will help you and will help the case of those who might be in the same room where something like this has happened. So if 2 and 2 statements match, this can turn into a strong case for reporting to HR, legal, or senior management. So always make sure that you record all the toxic or unusual behavior which makes you or any of your colleague uncomfortable. So that is my tip number 3, which is document everything and your future self will thank you. Tip number 4 is my favorite tip. Focus on self-care. So, when you are relaxed, you had 8 hours of sleep, or you had a meditation session or a yoga session, trust me, your well-relaxed mind and body will equip you to face any sort of challenge in a toxic environment. So, always ensure that you do any activity that relaxes your mind after a hectic day at work. Now, I do believe it is easier said than done, but what you can do is you can start taking baby steps. For example, start a routine of 20 minutes walk after your work day. Start doing anything that gives you calmness or makes you relax mentally, because a healthy mind will give rise to a healthy body. And that healthy body is going to give you so much energy that you will face anything and everything the next day. I'm telling you from my personal experience. Once you become so tired after a long toxic day, specifically if your surrounding is toxic, you would feel you don't want to push your body, yourself, your mind any further. But trust me, a small physical activity, a small meditation, a small yoga session, or a 15 minutes walk on your rooftop is going to make tons of a difference to your routine. So do that and let me know in the comments if it helped you. Tip number 5, and the most critical one as well. Plan your exit strategy, or at least start planning that. So, if things become unbearable at work and you feel that even doing all the tips that I've just told you, you're not able to feel any motivation to go to work the next day, start getting back to finding a new opportunity. Now, finding a new opportunity or preparing or planning for it reduces a lot of stress and the feeling of helplessness as well. So what you can do, you can start updating your resume, use ChatGPT to update it with the latest kind of achievement that you have done at the current job. Start networking with the industry professionals, start going to those events where the industry professionals and HR people are there. Start preparing very well for the interviews. What it will do is it will make your current job a little more bearable, because you know that you're planning for your next opportunity and you never know. Now, I do understand the current job market and the situation is not very favorable, and it's not like all of us are going to get a new opportunity in a number of days. But you don't have to lose hope, and all you have to do is keep trying, keep making contact with headhunters, with recruitment people, with HR people. Just like I always respond to people who connect with me via LinkedIn and try to be helpful to them in any possible way. So you will find similar people who are in senior HR roles willing to give you a support or a suggestion or an advice, and it will boost your confidence, and maybe you get a better opportunity. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe in a couple of weeks, but at least it will give you hope and it will give you a different kind of energy to go on the next day and perform your best as well. So whoever is going through a toxic environment, my best wishes are with you, and I really hope either you get a new opportunity or your situation at your organization changes. Good luck. This is me. I really hope all the tips were helpful for you, and I really hope if you like the video, you will subscribe, like and comment as well. And please don't forget to share my videos as well. Thank you. This is me, Khola, signing off from HR Talks with Khola. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.